Hi guys, it's Amy, and you found Amy Loves Crochet. Thank you so much for clicking on my video. I really do appreciate your time. So recently I worked on some cotton hot pads and I put up a tutorial for that. And I knew I still had the bee in my bonnet to work on some more. I still had to get that out of my system a little bit more. And I found these amazing hot pads that Alana did. I'll post her down in the description. I'll link her YouTube channel because she's really great. I love her. And they're not only a hot pad, but you could put them up for a wall hanging as well. And so I started to make those and fell in love. And she was making them out of acrylic as well for like to be a wall hanging. But I just stuck with a hot pad idea because that's what I was working on, is my cotton. So this was the first one that I did. And what happens is we work on the circle first, and then you do these chains. And as you start to single crochet into the chain, they do the twist. So when she does the tutorial, she has you put the face side of the flower up when you're going to link them here. To turn these little guys here, she has you turn those so that they're right side up, but then acknowledges that that makes the circle on the wrong side. See, this is the correct side of the circle, or the right side up, and then this is the back side of the circle. So with keeping this on the right side, I decided for my next one to go ahead and twist it right away. So I made my circle, and then I flipped it, and then started to do my single crochets, and that put the face of the petal and the center of the petal both on the same side. So that was just a little tweak that I did to her pattern. But I was telling my husband, I thought these would be great as wall hangings if you were using like glow-in-the-dark yarn. I know a lot of people have that. I haven't tried that one yet, but I just absolutely loved working on this pattern. So I wanted to go ahead and get out my willow cotton and try to work on that too. I mean, the twist of the petals gives you so much height and definition, you know, there's so much texture and touchy-feely to it. It's awesome. I love it. I really liked the solid pops of color like this as well, as opposed to, or, you know, in addition to using the variegated matchy-matchy. I just really enjoyed these. So those were all wonderful, right? So then the other night I told you in a previous video that it was our date night, and my husband went ahead and stopped by a Hobby Lobby with me because I took in some of this that I got at last June's clearance from Hobby Lobby, and I wanted to find some matching colors so that I could make a hot pad of Alana's. And so we went ahead and stopped in there, and these were the three that I bought to go with it. Look how pretty. Oh, well, you got to see them separate. Whoops, it dropped on the floor. So that works out really well with that one, as does the darker. I really liked that to go with it. And then this neon, I think, was my favorite. I really liked that together. So I got super excited to make this one, and it wasn't laying right. Like, I couldn't get these little flip guys. I was super distracted when I was making it, and it came around. I kept kind of like, after I was all done, and you know, you try to zhuzh it up a little bit. I'm like, why isn't it working? So I'm going around. I go, why is it flat right there? So this is where the reason that I put my channel together for you guys is to show you this is what I've done with this yarn and this pattern, and this is where my mistake was, so don't make the same mistake. So right here on this petal, it's supposed to get a green connector down 5 stitches so that this connects to this, and then that's how it makes the peak. But I didn't do that. I went straight across, so it has no peak. So I'm going to have to either leave it as it is and not care, or let it work under my fingernails, you know, let it bother me enough that I rip out all that green and give those little 5 stitches in there. I mean, because it would still work, obviously, but I feel like I got scalped or something. I'm missing the peak there. So it was so much fun to figure out what color combinations and so forth I wanted to make. I do want to give it another go with a lighter blue. I thought, how many stripes, different ways, you know, like this one, I did the green for the center and the chains and the first row of single crochets, and then just bordered it. And there's 3 rows in the center here that I did with the variegated. Whereas these ones, I changed it up a little bit differently, so that I started on the variegated and then I went to the blue and then I ended on the blue. So you can really, you know, this one I only did 1 stripe in the center, and this one you did 2 stripes in the center, and then this one all 3. So you can really play with it and do all sorts of color combinations, like the 1 stripe as well. I mean, I like them all. What can you say? So do follow, you know, do go down to the description and take a look at these hot pads that Alana makes, because they're fantastic. I don't know where she came up with the idea, but I think they're super cute. So I am going to keep working on different color combinations, possibly, you know, between these guys all coming together. You know, and hot pads are one of those things that everybody can use a hot pad. Everybody needs something to protect their table from a hot plate. I mean, a hot pan, you know. So in addition to Alana's pot holders that I was working, I wanted to work on, where is it? I wanted to work on a hat here, and it looks super cute. Let me see if I can get in there. And doesn't it look like, see, there's a dark stripe, a dark blue stripe. I thought that it was kind of like 2 alternating flaps, so that so like the visor of it would be like one that laid over the other or something. Sometimes it's hard to tell with a variegated yarn what it actually is, you know, what the structure of the item actually is. So this is what it's supposed to look like. So the pattern called for a 5.5 millimeter hook. I already know that my tension is different, so I went down to a 5 millimeter hook for this one, and I made it per the pattern. And it sits super wonky. There's a whole bunch of looseness up here. It doesn't look like it's supposed to be a slouchy in the picture. And so I was like, okay, wah, wah. So let's go down even more. So I went down to a 4.5 millimeter hook on this, and I stopped the pattern early, and it's still, I'm so not happy with it. That's not how it's supposed to look. And so it's kind of funny that, in my opinion, that I used the same material for a hot pad that I did for a hat. Maybe some of these other colors might have looked better in a hat, you know, because I thought this was super cute. But so there were a couple of wah-wah hats. If you've tried that hat band, or, you know, hat pattern from the band, and it worked out for you, let me know. Because it was a total fail, I think, for me, for both, you know me and my hat issues. But I still think it's fun to try it with a different yarn and see what's going on. So, alrighty guys, there's my cotton video for today. I really did enjoy using I Love This Cotton, and I am going to continue to do so. Different patterns though, because hats are not the one for me. So, all right guys, have a wonderfully blessed day. I hope you'll come back and see me again. Thank you. Bye-bye.